So let's review. So far in this session, we've warmed up with dagger strikes, then we've looked at dagger posta, then we've practiced dagger blocks with Topia and with Encruzada. So right hand over left for Topia, right wrist over left for Encruzada. Then we had our dagger, and we were doing Topia Encruzada, come dagger, two to four to ferro, Topia Encruzada. So full iron gates with dagger doubled. We were doing our defenses against Drita, against Fendente, and against Reversi. And then we did Topia Encruzada, come dagger, so doubled and crossed against Drita, Fendente, and Reversi. We briefly talked about follow-on actions, but as a standard, we were doing punches. So we did that assuming that we took the line, if you will, that we were able to access the outside. Now we're going to go back with doubled, so right hand over left hand without dagger. And if somebody comes in with Drita, along the Drita line, we're going to come out and get it, but we don't take the line. They push to their right, so we can't get to the outside. Now we go to the inside. So now it's looking a lot more like a Drita defense because our left hand comes on and grabs, and then our right hand can do other things, right? Or we could defend and do our dagger disarm. Or we can defend and do a middle key. Or we could defend, grab the wrist, bring our right elbow into their arm, neck, and do a clothesline throw. So those are just examples of follow-on actions. I'm going to use the substitute of a punch, but really the punch is indicative of any of the follow-on actions that you know to do. There's also a lock where you duck under the armpit and you can break their arm over your shoulder and throw them. But regardless, the first actions we were doing were equivalent to the first play of longsword where you take the line. This is, in my mind, equivalent to the second play of longsword where your opponent does not allow you to take the primary line, in this case the outside line, and we go to the inside line. There's some people that will just go to the inside line. They'll just see an attack coming in and predominantly get here and then fight from the inside into the straddle distance, if you will. Right? Well, the more straddle distance, because once you're defending with your hands, everything is straddle by definition because you're close enough to wrestle. But my point is, if they're doing a wide step, if they're taking a very wide strike with a mandrito, you might be more likely to get the inside line, so you might just come up in a reinforced, using the Topia essentially like a reinforced mandrito block, which is how I see it, right? So let's assume we're trying to get the outside line, and they don't allow it, so they pivot in, and we're following, and then we're grabbing the wrist and coming in. Let's assume that. And we're going to do that for mandrito, Fendente, and Reversi strikes. Then we're going to do the same thing with Encruzada, and then the same thing with Topia, and then the same thing with Topia Encruzada with the dagger. So, we're defending against Drita strikes from the right, and we come up to get it, and they go to the outside, so we go to the inside and strike. 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Same thing against a Drita attack. So they're coming in, we're trying to get to the outside, they take it to the outside, they take the line, we come in. 5 more. 1, 2. There we go, wardrobe malfunction. 2, 3, 4, 5. So, Daniel, we're starting Topia. So we're coming out with both wrists, trying to get the outside. They take the outside, so we have to go to the inside. So, left wrist blocks, left hand grabs their wrist, and then the right hand is going to flow in with a strike of some kind, a back fist, a punch, just as a stand-in for follow-on action. Now we're going to go to the backhand, to the reversey line. So if somebody strikes us with reversey and we try to get to the outside, and somehow they push through, we'll take the inside. This will be less likely, because you're getting to the outside almost automatically. But if they panic and come across, the name of the game is sensitivity. So we're going to block. They pivot across. We grab their inside of their right wrist, and we're coming in to strike. Now it goes without saying that after the strike, then you can also do all sorts of things. You can do upper keys, you can do the clothesline throw, you can do middle key, any sort of thing that you want. So here we're just doing the block and initial strike to set it up for follow-on actions. Good. Next, Casado. Right wrist over left wrist. We're going to do this defense against Drita and then Fendente and then reversey. And just like a minute ago, they come in for a strike. We try to get to the outside, and they flow to take the outside line, giving us the inside. So we came up, they went to the outside, we're taking our left wrist over, so we're converting it to a Drita defense and striking. So it's the same thing as before, just starting with Topia and Casado, right? Right hand wrist over the left wrist, up to the Drita. We try to get to the outside. They decide not to. We take the inside. 4 more. 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. Same thing except against the reversey line. So we're coming out with our wrists crossed, trying to get the outside line. They flow through across to take the line. Our left hand comes off and grabs and comes into the center. 5 more. 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. Now, let's do this against Satani. Someone's coming in Satani, and we're going to be in Casado Topia. So they come in low. We're going to have to bring our hands up a little bit and come down low. We're trying to get to the outside. They move to the inside. Fine. We'll convert that hand over and come in, grabbing their wrist with our left hand. So they come in with the Satani. We come down on it, trying to take the outside line. They flow across. Fine. We'll take that. 4 more. 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. I think I forgot 4 there. Now, one thing that you may notice is true time. We come up to try to get it with an increasing step, but we don't start stepping with the back foot yet. That would be false time. So we're coming up to get it, and if we do, so if we get the right hand on and we get the outside line, we push the elbow, now we can step in with the back foot, with the threat, right? That gives us a moment in time in which we're checking or we're reacting, we're flowing with sensitivity as to whether they're allowing us to take the line or whether they go to the other side. Because if they go to the other side, oh fine, we'll use our back foot step and our right hand to the inside, right? We're side agnostic. At least we train to be sensitive so that we can be side agnostic. There's some people that very strongly prefer one or the other, and that's a longer conversation. However, in these drills, we're visualizing our sensitivity and reacting to their response, and then entering with the back foot, right? So we have our time of our hand and body on the defense with a little increasing pop step. And then we determine, we react to which way they're going, and then we have our time of our foot coming in. All right? Good. Now let's pick the dagger back up again, or in my case, take it out of my belt. Let's do the same thing from doubled. We have somebody coming with Drita. We do our pop step out, and we're trying to take the outside. They flow to the inside. Fine, our left hand's going to come off to the inside of the wrist, and then we're going to come up under the armpit. And then back out. Again. Now, this could come through the belly, right? Our follow-on target. I like to visualize a very specific target, so I'm using up under the armpit. This could be right under the belly, right through to the ribs, so a traditional straight-on satani. It could be both of his hands are high. Maybe his left hand's coming in to punch me, and I duck that and come in and jam it in the other armpit, right? Or down into the knee or across into the groin. All sorts of nasty spots, right? Once we've immobilized their weapon, and this weapon is free to move, they're in a world of hurt unless they immediately get back. But I digress. Let's go on to fendente. Again, doubled with dagger. We come up, try to take the outside. They take the inside. We bring our left hand to the inside of the wrist. And in. Back out. 5 more. Last one. Now the reversey. They come at us with a reversey. We go to block. We try to take the outside. They push through the other side. In. Now there's a keynote here that when they try to take the line, they might be doubling up, which is another reason to be sensitive and move. Someone's coming in on a Drita line, and you block that with satani, and then they double up, and you try to fight that with your 2 hands against their 2 hands. Now you've got a strength versus strength match. Whereas if you come in, he comes in for the strike, you block that with both hands, and then he pushes. He says, no, you want me to go to my outside? No, I'm coming to the outside. And you say, fine, I'll let you go to the outside. And you punch him in the inside and strike him under the armpit, right? So, we use strength against weakness, weakness against strength. That's all part of sensitivity. Now let's use this against satani. So, someone's coming in a low strike. We're going to be doubled. In the Guelph tradition, we would be up at chest height on the doubled or the doubled and crossed. As soon as he went with a forward ice pick configuration, coming in for a low blow, we go high. And as the strike comes in, we're going to left foot, acquire, try to take the outside to push the elbow. In this specific case, let's do that 5 times first. So, he strikes satani, we come down, push the elbow, and I'm going to strike underneath the right armpit, just to pick a specific target. Down, push, strike. We're going to do that 4 times. Down, push, strike. Down, push, strike. Last one. And I'm just going to check the time on the video here. Looks like we've got a few minutes. Okay. So now we're going to have the opponent take the line on the satani. So they come in a satani and we try to take the outside, and they come across. They're effectively saying, no, we don't want you to take our blade away from your groin. they're coming into the groin, and they might be doubled, right? So this is not a fun place to be. So you try to take them to the outside, they try to come to the inside, right? We're going to have to turn, reach underneath, push, strike. So the main thing is getting that left hand, so controlling, keeping the weapon on their wrist, and then getting that left hand on their wrist, then that frees up your weapon. So I see this as similar to a blade grab, right? They come in, you try to take them to the outside, they come to the inside, so keep your arms way out to keep that away from your crotch, and then in. 5 more. 1, try to take the outside, inside grab, in. And if you miss that grab, you're getting out. You're not staying in, right? You come in, try to go to the outside, you go for the grab, you miss it. No, you're getting out. You're not staying in there with an active dagger. 3 more. 1, 2, 3. Good. Switch to point grip ground down. So, tutto portaferro, Topia and Casado. Same thing. They're coming in with a Drita. We're going to go up and try to take the outside line. They're going to turn to the inside. We're going to grab the wrist and give them a reversing. 5 more. Block, try to get the outside, go to the inside, in. Last one. Now, just like we were talking about before with the doubled, there are people that will prefer the inside line. And with the doubled and cross, there are people that will go to the inside line with a point out. That's where they like to be. The inside line, you have their left hand to deal with, their left leg to deal with. It's more dangerous. Getting to the outside on all of these, what can he do? He might be able to do a snap kick off the front foot, or maybe get the right hand back around, but you push that elbow, and you step around far enough, he is a very difficult time, he's behind on time to turn into you, right? So I see it looks like the inside line is the second choice, not the first choice. So we have 2 and then through, if we look at the first and second play of longsword. Regardless, let's do the same thing on fendente, and then reversi, and then we'll move on. So, doubled and crossed, a fendente is coming in, we will try to take the outside, they turn, so we go to the inside. 5 more. Last one. Now we're going to do the same thing against reversi. We have a backhand attack coming in on our left line. We're going to come out to get it. And then if they flow across the line, we'll take the inside. And again. Now, for completeness, let's try this against Satani. This would be scary. They're coming in with the Satani, and you happen to be double and cross. This is too short for my liking. Trying to come down and take the outside, and then they go to the inside. This is gut wrenching, right? Your ass is kicked out, you're reaching out as much as you can, you've tried to take to the outside, they take the inside. Now, your hand has to come down, then you can come in. Nice and slow. They come in with this autonomy. We block down and try to take the outside. They flow across. You're reaching out as far as you can to keep that away from your groin. Then your left hand's going to come down under the wrist, and only then can you come in. You could use a Drita or a Fendente. I'm just choosing to use a reversi because it's a closer target. And again, try to take the outside line. Kick out your ass. Kick out your hands, wrist, in. 3 more. Last one. Good. Okay, I'm going to stop the tape, grab a drink of water. I'll answer some questions before we move on to the next one.